Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Hi, my name is Paul Caroli, and I host a podcast called Changing Denver. It's a monthly show about our city's physical spaces, how we make them, and how they make us. But it's so much more than that. It's the conversations, ideas, and stories that define Denver's perpetual state of flux. Find more from our team at changingdenver.com and join the conversation on Twitter at changingdenver. Denver's changing. We can help.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Jonathan Tiersten from the Perfect House and Sleepaway Camp, and you are listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2018 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me is
Brad
and
James
and
Zach.
And every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience with the world. This week we saw Tomb Raider. I'm a survivor. You know, they should just take late 80s, 90s songs and just like remix them to make it cool.
I think that's what they do with
again.
every trailer.
I know.
Like, make it just a lady singing creepy, slow it down a little bit, you know?
Like we promise this movie's cool.
Yeah. So stay tuned to that. We'll tell you if you should see the movie or not, then spoil it after we play a trailer. We'll also talk about movies that are coming out on Blu-ray, movie news, and movies we've been watching. How's everybody doing this week?
Good.
Not bad.
That's it?
Yeah.
My foot's 2 weeks away from being completely done and officially off the insurance books. So,
Well, that's good.
So,
Congratulations on your healing.
yeah, I know. I don't have to walk around with a boot on anymore. I can now walk around with another shoe like a human being.
And we won't
give you
ridicule
the
you
boot.
anymore. You're like, what is he doing?
Well, I mean, calling me hobbly and wimply and limpy was kind of like a little harsh, but
But it'll be harder for us to
But then again,
run away
I
from
never
you.
called you hobbly or limply. I called you gimply.
Gimply. That's right. Sorry, my bad.
I just pushed you over because your balance was so great.
Yeah.
I know.
Doesn't appreciate a good joke.
I will say though, one of my shoes is shorter than my other one now because I was wearing one shoe and then the cast. So like that shoe got worn down on the soles. So I've got to get a new pair of shoes.
As I say, you can solve that really easily.
I know because I work at a store where I can get one right away.
You do.
Why am I not doing this right now?
I have no idea.
Anyway.
Zach, jeez.
I like talking movies with you guys. That's why.
You know, I was thinking, because we got a nice shout out from the House of Pod on Twitter, and we are like one of the longest running podcasts that I know of. I think we're the longest running one I know of.
In Denver.
Of all time.
Yeah, I think we invented podcasting.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We brought podcasting to Denver.
on the radio.
We brought it over from Europe
Yeah.
on the boat.
We introduced it. Of course, in Europe it's called podcasting, and we changed it to podcasting, and we really expanded the audience of listeners. And now, I mean, there's great apps like Stitcher who kind of piggybacked off of Nebcast.
And when we showed them how to like build an app that propagates media like this, so we were so rich we didn't need any kind of like royalties or money for that.
Because we invented RSS feeds. So
Yeah.
we have all that money from all that RSS feed money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you guys also invented talking into microphones. So in
See,
general.
you just
Well,
ruined the joke.
I invented the
Ruined
internet.
the joke. Zach, you're lucky we like you as a person because your jokes are fucking awful.
Thank you.
I invented the internet and climate change.
Aren't they don't they go
You're
hand
batting
in hand?
50-50.
They do, yeah, they do, yeah. You can't have the internet without changing the climate.
Is that we're dead?
That's how internet comes from. Where it comes from is the polar ice caps.
I think Kellen really likes his steak from Chipotle, but it's kind of spicy.
Oh, spicy thing.
That's why he's eating it. He's like, "Wait, you talking about me, motherfucker? You see that look he gave me?"
Bitch.
He's like, "What'd you say?"
Dad,
about
what
me?
I tell you about watching your mouth?
Yeah, what'd you say about me? Huh? You want to go? You want to go?
You want this straw in your eye?
It's funny too because my kid.
You see this chocolate milk? I'll make you see it up close.
You forget how smart kids are. So we're driving here, and I'm coming down 6th Avenue, and on the frontage road there's a police car, a lot like mine. And I was like, "Oh, buddy, there's Daddy's car." He's like, "Dad, your car's at home." He's like, "Duh."
How dumb do you think I am?
On Saturday I was having dinner with a couple of friends, and they have a 3-year-old, and she was telling me all about like these imaginary friends that she has right now and all these stories. And I asked her a question the way you do, where you're like sort of playing along. And you're like, "Oh, is it like this?" And she just looks at me indignant and goes, "No." Just as serious as it can be. We're talking about her imaginary next door neighbor's sister called New Sister, whose name is Santa Fe. Like all this weird shit, and I'm like, "Oh, is it like that?" No, it's not like that at all. Kids have no patience for your imagination. That's what I've learned.
Because theirs is better than yours.
Fair, yeah, that's probably true.
Mine
So-
can't. My nephew can't talk right now. He just rolls his foot into his mouth at this point. So
Yeah,
he has no greater
which
ambition.
is pretty
yet.
good. Yeah,
does-
I wish I could roll my foot into my mouth.
Apparently, it now takes.
I mean,
well,
literally, not the way that Zach does all the time.
no.
Ha ha!
Apparently, he can now roll over, but it takes him 45 minutes.
Oh.
It's just like, hey, you can get a good workout that way.
It takes me about that long. Anyway,
Takes me 2
cool.
hours.
Where were we? This week. No, we already did that. I was blacking out. I wasn't paying attention.
I know,
I was
obviously.
playing with a kid.
He's telling me that his steak's too spicy, so he's going to go ahead and eat his beans and tortilla and rice.
He can. I cooked some sausage for dinner. He can have some of that, but it was cooked with some red pepper, so it's gonna be spicier.
He does love sausage. Like he loves that like cheap kind too. Have you ever seen that like brown and serve you can only get at Walmart?
Oh fuck yeah, man!
It's
those
like
are good.
Morningstar. I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, the pre-cooked stuff.
Yeah. So every morning he wants like whether it's cereal or his waffles or whatever it is, he has to have sausage. So I'm like, oh, 2 pieces of sausage is probably good. He's a little guy. The other morning he ate 6.
Yeah, that's right. Could get beefy.
Mm-hmm.
He's all about the protein.
But I think that sausage is garbage.
Oh no, it's terrible.
But
Yeah,
he loves it. This one morning I got like real maple sausage, cooked it up, made him some biscuits, and he's like, "No, Daddy, I want the other stuff." I'm like,
Dad, this is shit. Come on.
yeah, I want the.
Have you had that brown and serve? Come on, man. That shit comes in the microwave.
It might be banquet.
Oh yeah, sure.
He's like, "You're overpaying for your fancy sausage, Dad.
I didn't hear that.
This banquet's good enough."
Yeah, I'm tired of your fancy sausage. I don't need that.
Just wait till he grows up and he's going to want that, and he should be like, too bad.
Actually, I have this fear that there's a bit that Patton Oswalt does about his son and when he gets older. Because
yeah.
I have like these action
Well, his daughter
figures
now.
and but I always think of my son. It's I have. Hey, Dad, go get your Green Goblin figure on the roof. Faggot. Aw, son. Don't do that.
Mean thing to say to your dad.
That's a mean thing. I just think of that Patton Oswalt bit all the time with him.
As proof that he's listening to you, he just ran up to me and goes, "I like my sausage, but it's garbage."
He always listens to me. He thinks I'm funny.
That's when it was a very serious.
That's when
I think
know
tomorrow
I'm-
morning he's gonna be like, "No, Daddy, I don't want that sausage. It's garbage."
That's when I know I'm funny. Is because my kid thinks I'm funny.
Right.
Like, my wife
right.
doesn't.
You know you're funny when a 3-year-old thinks you're hilarious.
It is. Kellen, is Daddy funny?
I don't like sausage. You ruined every morning for your son now.
Yes, you do, buddy. What kind of sausage do you like?
Sausage is garbage. Yep. See,
That's funny.
We've ruined.
Okay, his blocks go in the garbage truck.
Okay.
So he has a garbage truck
Okay.
that he uses his Lego for as trash. So he picks it and puts it in there in the garbage can that dumps into it mechanically. And
They're
I
not
thought in your
blocks.
household you would have taught him littering.
I wanted to, but
Oh, you
I have a
did.
wife who recycles. Actually, I tagged my wife. I sent her this article from the Denver Post about how people have been watching the garbage companies, and they literally just dump it all in the same truck, and it goes to the same landfill. I sent it to her because we pay an extra, I think, $40 every 2 months to get it recycled. I'm like, it's stupid because I've watched them. They don't separate it. So you're telling me when they get to the landfill, there's some guy out there with a rake, and he's like, hold it. There's an aluminum can. I'm going to make sure that isn't recycled. No, that doesn't exist.
Probably some places, but I imagine a lot of them are, just dumping it.
I think
Same
so.
spot.
Unless if you're a garbage sorter at a landfill and you're like, hey, you're an asshole, you're demeaning my job, please write in realnerds@gmail.com.
I mean, I've gone to the metal recycling plant. I mean, that's a thing.
Federal, I've been there, yeah.
Speaking of demeaning, though, seriously, you need to teach your son that Legos are not blocks. They're constructive playthings. They're not blocks.
Shut up, nerd.
Stop saying that he puts his blocks in the garbage truck if they're Legos. They're either Legos.
They're mega blocks, so technically they're blocks.
Oh, yeah, no, that's garbage. Yeah. I would put my mega blocks in the garbage. Oh, man, that was good. How you been, Ryan?
Oh, good. No, my only day off was our friend's wedding.
Oh, yeah. Well, that sucks.
I worked every day, so I've worked 9 out of the last 10 days.
Shit.
It's been awful.
Yeah. They
But
should
at the
just
point.
They should just burn that town down so there's no more drug addicts.
Well,
Oh, you live there. Shit, never mind.
yeah.
They might
just-
burn it down themselves.
Right, yes.
There's just dumb people like today.
Well, only if they convert to meth.
There was an accident, and it's actually out of my jurisdiction, but Colorado State Patrol asked if I could go because it's getting heated. Because the one guy who hit the other car said he couldn't wait around for cops because he has a warrant. Now, by the time I got there, he left. But this guy is so stupid, and you're like, oh, criminals are so smart. They're fucking retarded. He let the lady take a picture of his license plate. She took a picture of his registration and took a picture of him. He's like, I don't have a driver's license. So when I got there, he left. He'd been gone for 4 minutes.
She should have been like, hey, can I get a picture of your,
And-
like a credit card or, some other form of ID?
So I'm going to put some information out there that maybe criminals don't know. So when she told me he left 4 minutes before I got there, she showed me his plate. So I call out his plate. And I said, you're looking for a such and such vehicle with damage on it. You know what happened 10 minutes later? Colorado State Patrol pulled him over at C-470. So not only does he have a warrant
But
for
now
that,
it's a state issue because it's not just in your town, right?
So now that he already has a warrant, now he has another warrant for leaving the scene of an accident, failing to report a motor vehicle accident. He's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, we knew that because he started it with, hey, I can't wait around. I have a warrant. So here, take a photo of my driver's license.
So that's my free law advice is if you're gonna say someone that you have a warrant, don't let her take a picture of you and of your car.
No.
And of your registration.
If you have a warrant, just stop. You don't even need to get in a wreck. Just go find literally anyone and go have them take photos of all of your shit. And then be like, hey, would you call somebody? I have a warrant. Do me a favor.
Next time I read a comic book and they say, like, this criminal is one of the most cunning, masterful ones we've ever seen, I'll be like, 1 in, 500 million.
They all
Yeah.
get caught. Because we'll find you.
You the fuzz.
Bad boys,
Yeah.
bad boys.
That's what
Cool.
I do.
Well, that's a good one.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Hey, Kelly, can you tell us what do bees do?
Make honey.
Wow, that was well done.
That's right.
That was a
Yeah, I don't
carefully
just teach my
chosen-
kid fuck, guys. I teach him how science shit like bees make honey.
I teach him science shit. Like
Bees make honey.
That's all right.
bees
Good job,
make
buddy.
honey. Yeah,
You're
man.
such a smart boy.
Harvard bound. That's for sure.
He also told me this week that pee comes out of his pipe, which, it's pretty true. I love you, buddy.
Begrudgingly, he says. Cool.
So, yeah, Brad, what's
How's
happening
it
around
going?
town?
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
There's pee coming out of pipes all over this town.
Yeah, peepipesdenver.com is happening.
Oh, man, we need that domain right now.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up. While I remember what the Esquire Midnight is this week is...
The Room.
No, it's Moonrise Kingdom by Wes Anderson.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then, then The Room and Rocky Horror Picture Show the following weekend. So,
cool.
And then the open screen night is still going on March 27th at the Bug Theater, $5. Gets you a night of entertainment, of crazy local films and prizes and fun and games.
What's the best local film you've seen recently?
Oh, actually, I did see something really good at AFP last week. It's like this music video that was really abstract, but it was shot really well.
What kind of music?
It was like EDM, dubstep. So that wasn't a great part, but like the shots were
cool.
Yeah, there's like a lot of night stuff and glowing and.
Did you look up
motion
Ninja
stuff.
Sex Party like I asked you to?
What?
I sent you a link on Facebook.
What?
So
You sent me?
yeah, so Ninja Sex Party is like Steel Panther, except they do like synth stuff, and they have like great songs like 6969, where they transport themselves to the sexiest year in history, and Steel Panther shows up in it. I found them because it's Steel
Nice.
Panther, and so I ordered all their CDs. So we're gonna. They have stuff like One
many
Man
do they
Orgy, like 5,
Oh fuck.
but 2 of them are covers. So I got their original stuff first. And I guess they were found because they're really funny on. Well, their videos are really funny. And the lead singer's named Danny Sexbang. And in every video, he's wearing like a robe or a unitard. I was like, oh man, Brad doesn't like me anymore. I sent him something.
It's not on my wall.
Huh? I wonder where maybe I sent it to my wife. I don't know.
Oops. Well, that's cool. I'll check that out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it for what's going on around town.
Drive-in lineup's the same.
Oh yeah, the drive-in's working now. So yeah, as of right now, I guess until Thursday, it's Tomb Raider game night and Death Wish.
Pretty solid.
I imagine they'll keep it for another week because it snowed yesterday. Kind of ruined their business. So
Were you the only car there?
no, there was a couple more, but I mean,
There was like
8
around 8 or 9. I
Yeah.
didn't really see behind us, but then one of them left during it. But
during the show. Yeah, I think 2 actually left during the
Yeah.
show, but I mean, yeah,
it wasn't like it was unbearable though. Like you could see the film and everything was fine.
yeah.
If anything, it made it kind of cooler in a way. I don't know why.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's
Cool.
going on around town.
James, unspool that real news.
It's real news.
We're coming up on 7 years, guys.
No one has peepipe.com.
Oh, dude, buy peepipe.com.
What's the full thing?
Just peepipe.com. Just get
Okay.
peepipe.com.
I'm using Google Domains to buy it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Beep bop boop beep beeps.
This is
Bought
how
It'd
we
it.
be
make
fun if you
all
bought
the
it.
money.
Some guy's like, "Here's $2 million. You stole pee pipe from me."
It's the new hottest fetish online is peepipe.com.
I work hard like making like creative videos and scripts and like posters and like that's what gets me the $2 million is like
Yeah.
buying a domain.
Brad, you need to sell out. I've been telling you this for years.
It's basically real estate. I mean, this is where all the money's at. Hey, did y'all see that trailer for Avengers: Infinity War?
What? There's a new trailer?
There is. Brad, here, Brad. Why don't you listen to the audio from it? There's plenty of talking.
All right, here. I hit play now.
Brad, pay attention to this part. This is the cool part.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Look, his head's getting crushed.
Doctor Strange.
Whoa! Wasn't that cool, Brad? Having just seen that?
I mean, now I'm excited for this movie.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit at all. All the other
Yeah.
trailers sucked. This was awesome, though. There's like so much shit in this movie, and they announced this week that it's the runtime is the longest one they've ever made.
Like, there's so much going on, and I know they will, but I'm always like, how are they going to pull this off?
Well, a lot of it is they don't have to set anything up. Like even the the villain.
I guess I shouldn't pull up on your chairs. I think I
Dude,
just ripped it up.
That's okay. I paid $150 for all of this shit, and my fiance doesn't care about any of it. So you can
Welcome to being married.
So you can break whatever you want, as long as I have like one chair left over. But yeah, they don't have to set up the villain because he's been set up some. Like though there will be one scene where Gamora's like, "My dad sucks," like, and a scene at the beginning where like he destroys a planet, and you're like, "Oh man, he sucks." Like unless and even if they try to introduce like death and all that stuff, like they introduced her in the last movie as well, or Ragnarok. So hey,
My daddy sucks.
your daddy sucks.
Wow. Wow. He's already turning on you.
Kellen,
Wow.
I thought you say you love your daddy.
Hey, my bee makes honey.
Bees make
Okay.
honey. How cool is your dad?
My bee makes honey all by my bee self.
Kellen, tell everybody that your daddy's really cool.
My daddy's really cool.
Wait. This is manipulative.
You might make it up.
Yeah. So you don't have to set as much stuff up. Like even what the villain wants to do, shoot, you just put it in the trailer. I want to kill half of space, and I'm going to use all these things that I've set up in these other movies to do it. Like, hopefully they can just. But there's crazy shit happening, right? Like Thor is building a new hammer, and the Guardians at some point have to talk to Tony and tell him his ideas suck.
I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, but then you showed it to me. Thanos grabbing Thor's head and just like starting to like crush it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, which I probably agree with Brad is, probably how this movie starts is, hey, that ship finds Thor and Loki, they beat the shit out of Thor and Loki,
Slaughter all the Asgardians.
threaten the shit out of Loki until Loki gives them the Tesseract. Maybe Loki dies, they go to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Thor's like, shit, I need a hammer, y'all. Even though the end of Ragnarok is very definitively like, I am the hammer. But whatever. That's okay. Maybe he makes like a fucking
He's
spear.
not a hammer. He's a god of thunder.
No, I'm just saying, like, he doesn't need the hammer to call down the thunder. He
I
just
think I read
fucking
someone
makes it.
suggested it might be something called the Stormbringer.
It is. It's,
Yeah.
You can find the toy at Target.
Oh no shit!
It's like a big battle axe.
Oh, is it the axe like he has from the Ultimates, where it's an axe on one side and then it's really cool.
No, the movie looks awesome. And I read an interview with the directors, and they said the reason it's not Infinity War Part 2 is because it's a completely different movie.
Yeah,
So
it is a beetle. Good job.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks. I mean, Avengers 1 and 2 like have a grand scale to them, but for some reason when they're doing that shot from like where they're traveling on the ships in Wakanda with Cap in tow, I don't know why, but it just reminds me of like an old epic of some kind. Like it has some scale to it that I haven't seen in an Avengers movie before. So I'm really like excited for it.
What's the whole world?
Yeah, that is part of it, but just like the way they're visually representing it and whatnot. So
Because I think everyone's pretty much gathered that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
And by spoilers, at the end of Black Panther, when T'Challa says, everybody's welcome, and they open it up, and that's like what Thanos needs.
It just makes too much sense for it to not be that. Like, if they do something else, it's gonna like kind of feel shoehorned in. I feel like because that answer is so obvious.
And the scene with Spidey, I think that's why he realizes he needs the new suit from Tony, is because the ship comes down in New York, and he tries to do something about it. He can't because he realizes he's not strong enough.
But even like some of those things, I don't think you need those scenes, right? Like if Spider-Man shows up in that suit, we're all smart enough to fill in between that movie and this one. Like, hey, when giant alien spaceships come down and Tony calls him and is like, "Hey, dog, I need you over here," he probably somewhere along the way drop him off his suit.
They also said that Thanos has some of the most screen time in the movie.
Awesome. He should. If everyone is fighting him.
Well, because they also said, you should see little baby Gamora. They're going to set up why he is the way he is. I'm guessing he's going to kill everybody on that planet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to, yeah.
So it should be fun. It should be dope. Not genocide, but...
Yeah, genocide's not fun, but watching Thanos committed is.
Mm-hmm. Because we don't know him. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like in Star Wars when we blew up the planet.
Hey, you need somebody to die so that we can avenge it. See
or we can revenge it.
The Revenger.
With the Revenges. Me? The big guy?
Only other trailer this week.
I love Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, it's great. Only other trailer this week is we got the new Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald trailer, which I watched and went, oh man, this looks cool. And then I remembered what it is. But I don't know. Ryan, is this cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the world. James doesn't give it a chance, but I like it.
That's not fucking true.
You and I are probably the only Harry Potter fans in here. It looks good. I mean, like, the only thing I will concede to James is that, like, Fantastic Beasts, the Crimes of Grindelwald doesn't sound as cool as Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Sure. 'Cause I know they're trying to make it, like, the Fantastic Beasts, like, that's the series, you know?
Yeah, is that the actual official title, Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grim?
Yep, that's
well,
what it
it's
says
just
on all
Fantastic
the
Beasts
marketing material.
the Crimes of Grindelwald.
So the
I
franchise
bet Grindelwald
is
will change.
Fantastic Beasts, and then it's like colon and Where to Find Them, colon the Crimes of
No, I
Grindelwald.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm sure it'll be like Live, Die, Repeat, where they'll just get rid of that part.
maybe.
But, again, like, title aside, like, it looks fun. I liked watching Jude Law say Dumbledore stuff.
Yeah, he looks good.
It's like if you,
I think Eddie Redmayne's great.
I like that there's not a lot of Johnny Depp in this trailer because I every time like the title comes up I remember like shit, like I want Colin Farrell back, like I liked that bit.
No, I think in the first movie his like relationship with Ezra Miller was
wonderful,
was awesome because it was like this weird like sexual tension.
Yeah, that was the coolest, most villainous thing honestly that I feel like I've seen in a Harry Potter movie. And that's why, like, at the end, when you just reveal, like, this guy, Colin Farrell, who we all know can be a fucking amazing, cool villain, and then you replace him with, like, this overdone, Johnny Depp, I'm like, oh, man, like, I don't want albino Johnny Depp. Like, that's not cool.
Well, maybe he'll change again at the end.
That's my hope. Before the show, I was like, maybe he'll put the Colin Farrell clothes back on again for, like, most of the movie, and then just every now and then you'll see, like, a reflection of Johnny Depp, that would be cool. Or they could lightning him in the face and turning him into somebody else.
Oh, sweet.
He just keeps getting a different face.
Yeah. But yeah, looks fun. Like I can't wait to get my wand ready as the trailer told me to.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
do it.
Sounds perverted, but yeah.
I didn't say get it out, I said get it ready.
Yeah. Pee comes out of
Somehow
my
it is
pipe.
Worse. I'm not getting it out. I'm getting my wand ready. There's probably a line from the Harry Potter like parody porno.
Edgar Wright announced the only thing that's almost as good as a sequel to Baby Driver, which is a sequel to the soundtrack of Baby Driver. So there's going to be a Baby Driver Volume 2 of just other awesome music, which is cool. I will totally buy the shit out of that.
There we go.
So yeah, I think let's see. He gave a date, April 13th.
Nice.
Ooh, that's is that I Kill Giants weekend? That's I Kill Giants weekend.
That's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a Friday. Ooh. So yeah. Anyway, that's awesome. You should check that out. Nope, not gonna talk about that. Don't care. Margot Robbie is maybe gonna be Sharon Tate, and that's just one more moment where I remember I really don't want to watch a movie about Sharon Tate getting murdered.
I'm gonna watch the movie. Obviously.
Oh, me too.
It's Quentin.
Yeah.
I trust he'll do a fine job with whatever the story he's gonna tell.
Yeah, I mean, because if he doesn't, he'll threaten somebody.
I would just feel so much better if Sharon Tate were not a character in the movie. Like, I just
soft call. Like I don't really know what. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, like, he's gonna make the movie he's gonna make. I like the title a lot.
Cast
Once
is
Upon a Time in
incredible.
Hollywood, which is which is cool because he's kind of like he's hearkening to his love of Sergio Leone, but it reflects a period of Hollywood that doesn't exist anymore. Like it's the before and after point.
And
because L.A. in general changes after that.
If this were really a movie about Hollywood during the time of the Manson murders, if that's what this ends up being, and it's more about like how that impacted the space and that kind of thing, I think that could be really interesting. I don't know that that's the kind of filmmaker he is, and so I just
I feel like that's what he's going for because the main character is supposed to be Leonardo DiCaprio playing a washed up TV actor, who's trying to break into film. So like, and Brad Pitt's supposed to be like a stuntman in the movie too. So I'm on board. I mean, I still haven't heard about Al Pacino playing Charles Manson, which sounded like the most hilarious thing imaginable.
Go over there and murder some people.
Here's a fork. Go make murders.
Oh, squeaky!
And carve fucking pig into their bodies.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah. It's real terrible. But I am way more excited for his Star Trek movie. That's all.
Were you just going to go into that?
No, I was just mentioning it. But
Simon
go
Pegg
ahead.
talked about it. Like, apparently, the idea stems from years ago for the Star Trek pitch. So this is something that's been bubbling in his head for a while.
He's a guy I actually trust to have a really cool, different idea. That's not just like retreading old ground or like here's a generic villain. Like
Right.
But
anyway, yeah.
So-
We'll see. I mean, I like Margot Robbie, so maybe she can, and she'll definitely do well. So not worried about that.
So there's a movie that's going to be directed by Alma Harrell, and it's written by a guy named Otis Lort. So it's about a child actor whose dad is a dick and a half, and the dad who's a dick and a half is played by Shia LaBeouf.
Can I guess who the kid is?
Fuck off. And the kid is played by Lucas Hedges, and it's about how his dad is a dick and a half. And the movie's called Honey Boy. And the big surprise reveal here is that Otis Lort is actually Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is just making an autobiography movie where he plays his own dick dad. I will see this shit.
This might be better than the paper bag exhibit in L.A.
I just
maybe.
I actually believe that it's possible that Shia LaBeouf is on the beginning of a comeback, and that this is like one very weird step in that.
Yeah,
but because the trailer for oh shit, what's his
Borg
versus McEnroe versus Borg movie, I think looks great, and I think he looks really good.
Which
in
they
it.
put that for the film club too.
Yeah,
so.
he looks like that. He looks like he's not on drugs right now, so that's cool. Anyway, I just that whole story of yo dog, I wrote a movie about me where I play my dad, and I wrote it under a different name. Everything about it is just weird.
I'm on your side where it's like, oh, he might be on the verge of like coming back in an interesting way, but you can't help but read the story and go,
Yeah.
But that said, though, like I like Lucas Hedges, and there are times I like Shia LaBeouf, so I'll check it out.
All right, and last thing I got here this week in an interview, Gary Newman, who is the sort of TV, he's the head of TV at Fox, whatever that means right now, in an interview, basically said, yo dog, Joss Whedon was one of the best people we've ever worked with, and we would really like to make more Buffy if we had a chance.
He said, yo, dog? That's awesome.
He did, yeah. He
actually said D-A-W-G or D-O-G?
D-A-W-G. I mean,
Okay,
he ain't no fool, you know. So what he actually said was that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was maybe the most ripe for reboot franchise that they have right now, which is a weird thing to say. But he also said it in a way that made it sound like, you know, when Joss Whedon is ready, we would certainly do it.
All I want is it on Blu-ray.
I'm
for a
totally
show
with
that's
you.
as popular as it is.
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
unbelievable.
It's a
not
shame.
on Blu-ray.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if they filmed some of it.
It's 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, there's
Well,
plenty
yeah.
of stuff not on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Unrelated.
You'd think they wouldn't have to sell the company if they just put stuff out on Blu-ray and made like $1 billion in a year with all the things that.
Still waiting for 24 on Blu-ray.
Right. Yeah. Like the fact there's so many things that they could just release and make a ridiculous amount of money for just some disc, cost. Like, anyway, honestly, I would totally take some kind of revival. I just wouldn't want it to be Buffy. Like,
You know what they should do? They should make Buffy the Watcher and have like a new Slayer.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Like, I would be fine with a non-comic book canon story. I'd be fine with go like tell a different one in the past, or go tell something like Frey where you're in like the future and it's like just go tell a different Slayer story. Go pick, because especially outside of Buffy, nobody lives for more than like 3 years. So you could go tell a story in the 70s or the 80s of a Slayer and have it be completely isolated and not really impact the rest of the universe at all. And I'd be down. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, That would be cool. Just don't remake that show because that would just be stupid.
And Buffy news, I don't know if we said it, but Joss Whedon and Georges Jonti are doing the new season for Dark Horse.
Oh, cool.
So,
oh man.
On Buffy News, Michael Gershman, the cinematographer for the show, several episodes of it passed away.
Oh shoot!
Today. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he worked on the show Crossing Jordan and was Vilma Zsigmond's cam assistant for years. So, shout out to him for giving us some Buffy, making it look awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, so maybe that'll happen, but probably not, because probably Disney's just gonna buy that shit and sit on it forever. Anyway, that's news, unless there's anything I forgot.
Spielberg says he's going to direct Indy 5 starting next April.
Yeah, he's going to start filming it next
Yeah,
April.
I think he's going to make West Side Story first.
It sounds like it. I don't
Good for
want
him.
him to make West Side Story, but he seems to, so that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, as long as Ready Player One comes out okay, then he's still
It's
only
been getting pretty
It's
decent
good
buzz.
reviews. I think
Yeah.
the character design of the lead character is awful, though. I can't stand it.
I think it's one of those things where when you get in a Tron style way,
I'm
some
hoping.
of that design may be stuff that works a lot better when you're actually in the space. You know, like when you watch the trailer for Tron Legacy and you see David Bowie walk down those steps. It's not really David Bowie, but it's Michael Sheen dressed as David Bowie. In the trailers, you're like, that's over the top and weird. And then when you're watching in the movie, that happens. You're like, oh, that totally just fits in this space.
You're almost like, oh my gosh, he's the second best character in this movie right now.
Yeah, I think when a movie, so much of it takes place in VR or something like that, some of that stuff cannot be appealing. Like I think his buddy, like the big bald dude that's with him, I think his design doesn't look great. But then again, I think when you get into the movie, it may be,
Yeah, I think part of the characters like in that world, like a lot of stuff is just your fantasy thrown together, so it's not going to look like.
Yeah.
No,
like
I
someone
get
had
it. Just
production
I don't know.
design
Like when I watch
control.
it, I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting good reviews, and some of the stuff looks really great. But like the main character, I'm just the silver hair and stuff. I just
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm hoping it's good.
what's coming out on Blu-ray? Oh, we'll tell you.
DVD releases and Blu-rays. Oh, I can't get the vibrate in the mic well enough to do the Jumanji beats. Anyway, Jumanji is out on Blu-ray this week.
Haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think
either.
you'll like it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Does the game do the knocking sound to lure you into playing it like in Jumanji?
It tries to in the beginning, and then it learns to adapt in a different way.
Oh, right, and then it turns into a video game.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Does a rock give somebody the rock bottom?
Ooh.
I actually can't remember. It's been a couple months.
Does Jack Black go shibba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo in it?
Nobody has one of the funniest moments in the movie.
Does he
hands down.
offer to suck anyone's dick for heroin?
There's a joke involving a dick in the movie that's really funny.
There is a dick joke.
Yeah. And it's not the one you'd expect.
Never go full retard.
Pitch Perfect 3 is out on 4K. There's two different Jumanji 4K releases for some reason. So.
I
still have
think
never
one's
seen
a steelbook at Best Buy.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes
Still
sense.
have never seen a Pitch Perfect movie.
They're fun.
Yeah, the first one's really good. Yeah.
I got a copy of the first one from work, and I gave it to my sister because she really wanted it. And I'm like, okay, here
Fair.
you go.
You
Yeah,
should
no.
listen to it, pitches.
Yeah, all the music stuff is terrible, and luckily that whole Glee culture has gone the way of the dodo, which is what it was sort of making fun of to begin with. I would be interested to see if by the time they get to a third one, it's basically just Glee, but with some dumb jokes thrown in. But maybe not. Because it's basically it's like making fun of Glee meets the Mighty Ducks. Like that's what Pitch Perfect is.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Downsizing, the Alexander Payne film, is out on 4K.
Which
this
is
week.
not as bad as everyone says it is.
Oh, I keep meaning to watch it. I didn't know people were
It's
saying it was
visually stunning.
bad. Oh.
It's the Vietnamese woman in the film is amazing too. Like she's kind of like a non-actor that Alexander Payne took and was like, "I'll make you great."
It's my car.
Okay.
His dog ate all his car.
Oh. Man. Good dog. Bad dog?
No.
Good dog. Oh, okay.
your dinosaur did.
Oh, the dinosaur did.
Two cars.
What's his name?
His name is Black.
His name's Black?
Yeah.
Racist.
All right. Good choice. Does he have big teeth?
No, cars.
He bites cars?
He just eats cars.
Does he eat a lot of them?
Yeah.
What's he say when he eats them?
Oh no, we better put him away till he doesn't get no car.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job, buddy.
Joan of Arc is out from Criterion this week. That's the 1928 Passion of Joan of Arc.
Silent film. It's really good. You should watch it if you're into silent film.
No one is into silent film.
I like him.
I'm kidding. Ichi the Killer. Ichi the Killer is getting a Blu-ray re-release this week. I don't think it's been on Blu-ray before. This might be the first time.
If it hasn't, that's a shame. That's
this
pretty
is
pretty interesting film.
a quote definitive remastered edition. So
I don't
Nice.
like it as much as other McKay films though, but it's interesting. Yeah.
my favorite McKay film is The Big Short. I think he's really good. So the 7-Ups, which
Spot?
what?
Oh, I'm too old. So 7
no.
the little
Oh, yes,
Spot.
Spot, yes. No, this is a movie with Roy Scheider where he points a gun and drives a car.
Well,
He actually
I'm
looks
down.
pretty badass.
I like Roy Scheider.
Yeah. Shoot, what was the role that Roy Scheider turned down that, like, De Niro took it? Oh. I think it was it one of the Godfathers? Roy Scheider, like, basically turned down some role that kept him from being Robert De Niro.
Maybe Deer Hunter?
Oh, that's what it was. It was Deer Hunter.
Yeah, because
Yes.
someone else was offered Godfather Part 2 and turned
Oh,
it down,
yeah.
and that's why De Niro got in Godfather Part 2.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Roy Scheider looking awesome. From Arrow this week, there's a movie called Images, which I don't know what it is. It's there's a lot of images on the cover.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. There is.
You know what Darth Vader is.
Let's see. There's a movie called Offerings from Code Red.
You can watch that for free on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a slasher. It's all right.
Yeah, it looks like it. The cover is a gift that a guy's carrying, but the gift is clearly got like a head in it or something.
It
'cause
definitely
there's
need to be
blood dripping from
remastered
it.
though, because when I watched it maybe 2 years ago on Prime, it was really like scratchy and poppy. So hopefully they remastered it.
Code Red's pretty good about their
They
stuff,
are.
yeah.
They are.
The tagline here is "Remember him before he dismembers you."
If
I
don't know
like
what
that
What does
one.
that mean?
It's something like I don't know. These girls wrong some dude as always, and he gives the gift he gives him is death. Something like that. I can't remember.
Give you the-
It might surprise you. I watch a lot of slasher films, and the ones that aren't that good, I have a hard time remembering.
They blend
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
This week from Shat Select, Tom Hanks in The Burbs.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do have that coming.
This is a movie that I've actually never seen because in my house it was like a forbidden film to watch because my brother watched it and
it's
had
very
terrible nightmares when he was a kid.
It's really dark.
Yeah. So
I was not expecting
should
it from the
probably check
cover.
it out. Yeah, this cover is actually really good because it's just Tom Hanks holding up a human bone and looking at it all like. It's better than I think that one that was always on the cover in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Just him in his bathrobe, holding kitchen appliances.
I'll let you borrow it. I have it coming.
Cool.
You can check. I think it's really good. It's definitely darker. Is it Joe Dante?
It's Joe Dante, yeah. It's one of those like you pop it in, you're like Tom Hanks, I'm in for something, and then it takes many left turns.
Is there cars out there? Are you high?
The only other thing from Shout Factory this week is a little film called Rockula, which I believe is some kind of rock opera where the lead singer of a band is
I think
a
it's
vampire.
supposed to be like a comedy. I don't know.
Is it the 90s? It looked like the 90s.
It's the 90s. So
it's 1990. It's the definition of the 90s.
It's obviously Scream Factory, and so
Yeah.
those titles are like $24, and I'm always like, I should watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend $24 on it.
Right.
So hopefully they'll have like a half off sale or something.
Yeah.
So Rockula is about a male vampire who lost his lady love centuries ago. She was killed by a pirate with a rhinestone peg leg, wielding a large ham bone. I'm literally reading the Blu-ray.com summary here. Right.
Yeah.
Wielding a large ham bone, our hero, the vampire, did not. I didn't add that little addendum there. That it really is our hero, the vampire, did nothing to save her. So now he is cursed to watch her be born again in another life and then watch her die. Strangely enough, by a pirate with a rhinestone peg leg wielding you-know-what. Oh, my goodness. I'm not changing anything, I swear. Now, in 1990, he suspects his last chance to try to save her instead of watching... Okay, there's an error here. Instead of watching get clubbed over and over again down through the years. Oh, and he becomes a rock star in the process. Oh my goodness, this is gold.
This sounds like Spencer Kane's dream movie.
Yeah, like the fact that
this is like, I mean, you and I know Spencer. This is like the film he pitches to me every single month.
So, okay, all right. So the cover, all right. So the tagline is, "He's a vampire who hasn't scored in 400 years. Tonight's the night he keeps a date with fate." Okay, so it's a vampire kid who basically looks like a rejected Marty McFly, and he's holding up his guitar with spiderwebs all over it, and he's like, ah, but he's got teeth. And then there's a saucy lady in the back, and there's this dude who I guess is the rhinestone pirate with flowing blonde hair.
You don't know that.
And then a cross. I know I don't. No, of course I don't know.
Show me to me.
No, yeah. See, like it.
That's his Van Helsing there.
Well, yeah, but I think his Van Helsing is the rhinestone pirate.
I wouldn't. Well, maybe.
He's
or maybe like
no. He's in a eons long battle.
But Van Helsing was never a pirate.
I'm aware that Van Helsing is not a pirate. I'm telling you what I think is happening here. You're trying to logic your way into this conversation, and I'm telling you...
Look, clearly I've never seen Rockula, the amazing Rockula, but...
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you don't turn Van Helsing into a pirate. Hugh Jackman, maybe, but not a pirate.
This is just... Yeah, okay, anyway. All right, moving on. Very last thing. From the Warner Brothers archive, which I usually don't pull up... this week, you've got The Black Scorpion. The Black Scorpion is a film from 1957, and I only bring this up because of the cover here. The tagline is, "Don't be ashamed to scream. It helps to relieve the tension."
Show, wait. Show that to me.
Hold on. But the other thing about it is, you just have to see this cover. Because I think it's basically like either an evil E.T. or just poop with teeth. I don't know how this is the Black Scorpion. What is this tooth over here? What is this?
Typical fucking Warner Brothers. They didn't know what a scorpion looked like, so they had to make some shit up.
No, this is evil E.T. This is the shit of my nightmares.
I would argue it looks like that internet frog come to life.
Oh, Pepe?
Yeah.
Pepe? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Justice for Pepe, by the way. That frog was taken over by racists, and that frog was never meant to be racist.
Okay, so anyway, just assuming though, like, so this is what it looks like if he becomes a real life monster.
Yeah,
and
this is if
and also that tagline. Oh my.
Yeah, it literally. Yeah, don't be ashamed to scream. It helps with the tension.
This is the end of their run with monster movies, where they're like, look, we don't have any other ways to be hyperbolic about this. Just go fucking see it.
Yeah. Hey, if your back starts to hurt, lay on the ground. Just lay on the floor for a little while.
If your throat becomes dry, drink some water.
Yeah. If you suddenly feel lightheaded, sit down and put your head between your knees.
If you gotta go pee, you gotta go pee.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, that's interesting from the Warner Archive collection.
Yeah.
I bet you $5 it's actually an MGM acquisition, but
it might be.
I'd have to look it up.
Cool. I think next is Killing for Time.
What we've been watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Hey! Brad, what have you been watching?
Oh, so many things.
Oh, good.
I don't even know where to begin. Probably at...
the top.
There's a lot of DVDs that came out last week, so... I dug into their special features. Justice League. I watched the 2 bonus scenes that come with that disc.
Ooh, are they good?
They are.
Wait. Would you say that you've now seen the Zack Snyder cut of the film?
If that's all that's left, that's pretty weak. Because it's just Superman walking through the spaceship looking for his costume. And
Wait. Like he did his laundry, and he's like, where did I leave that damn thing? When is the scene supposed to be? When does he not have his costume?
After he wakes
he comes
up
back.
and fights everybody, he's like, I gotta sort my life out because I don't know how to deal with being alive again. And then I guess he goes to the farm, and then at one point he goes back to the ship, and then as he walks through the corridors of the ship, the walls come apart. First there's like some kind of like Kryptonian spacesuit that comes out, but then the next one is his traditional uniform, and he just stares at it, and the scene ends. He does put it cuts, and it's another part of the ship, and he walks into the frame, and he looks all heroic and stuff.
Sure.
And then the other scene is that part in the trailer where he visits Alfred while Alfred's working on the Batmobile. He's like, I knew you'd come. Hopefully
Superman
there's
does?
Yeah, he's like, I thought you were going to come. I hope there's enough time or something. I hope it's not too late.
Oh.
Or I hope, because he's Hope.
Oh.
It's not too late. That part from the trailer that didn't show up in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just walks into Wayne Manor.
But he says that to Alfred.
No, Alfred says that Superman doesn't have any lines.
Okay, so Superman shows up and Alfred's like, oh, hey,
yeah, Superman just walks into the garage.
You broke into the house. Why is Superman there?
I assume he wants to know where they went in Russia so that he can follow them now that he's ready to fight. It's pretty lame.
Why doesn't he just fly up into space and look for giant explosions?
I know, he has that super hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, like what? How?
I don't know. It's not great.
Maybe he needs to get his hearing back.
Ryan says maybe he needs to get his hearing back.
Yeah, he's still controlling all the sensory stuff, maybe.
Stuff. There you go.
Instead of wasting his time trying to find them, he's like, oh, I know Alfred
Couldn't
probably
he
knows exactly where they are.
Couldn't he just called?
Maybe if he tries to dial a phone, he'll break the phone.
Oh,
he's so strong.
This is the movie I want to see.
Yeah.
Just Superman walking around, having just been reborn, accidentally having pratfalls with basic, day-to-day objects.
He's a dead Kryptonian who's come back to life.
Well, and then so he picks up an Android phone and he tries to dial it and he presses his finger right through it and he's like, "Oh man!" And then he picks up an iPhone and he does it. And he's like, "Oh man, this Gorilla Glass is great."
Or he pops up and
tries to use his X-ray vision to see how it works, but iPhones are
so yes. Yeah, exactly. iPhones have too much security for him to use X-ray vision on.
He presses the button on the Matrix phone, and the second half just drops right off.
Yes. Yeah.
So
great film. That would be a great film.
That was a bummer. On the box it says like deleted scenes, and it's like two things that don't.
Are there commentaries?
Nope.
No, I didn't.
There's not like
they don't even credit Joss Whedon as directing that film on the box.
I wouldn't
it's
either.
All Snyder.
It's like a bunch of because I watched it too. It's maybe about 30-40 minutes of
get to
like
know the heroes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's some more backstory on who Aquaman, Flash, and
here's
Cyborg are.
They showed up in this comic, and then this happened, and then the costume changed. That kind of stuff. Sounds like
more broad.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Did you know the Flash is fast?
What?
Yeah. Here's a bunch of like storyboards and costume designs from the costume designer.
Does it feel like they don't give a shit, or there's a double dip?
If there's I can see there being a double dip for this, but I mean,
gotcha.
I don't see them.
It doesn't seem to be there because I thought there'd be one for Suicide Squad and that one actually made money. So
right.
Then also watched I, Tonya again.
Cool.
The commentary and the bonus features. The bonus features are kind of light, but the one of the cool things is that a lot of people seem like, oh, I'm so smart, I can tell when it's a face replacement. Like it's not that great.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that while they're distracted by her face replacement, they're ignoring the fact that the entire crowd in the stadium is CGI.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then The Disaster Artist also came out last week, and that commentary is amazing.
I listened to the commentary, but the movie made me laugh. Why you play with Kid?
All your
touch
friends are kids.
RoboCrab.
Yeah, it's got Tommy Wiseau on there and James Franco, Dave Franco, and I think 2 of the writers.
All in one room or separate?
All in one room, except
man.
for Greg Sestero, who is at the Alamo Draft House when we're watching the movie.
Yeah!
They Skyped him in.
That's cool.
So there's a noticeable audio difference when he chimes in. But,
Yeah.
There's often, like, Tommy Wiseau weirdly defending whatever choices he made in the original movie.
Yeah.
And James Franco being like, I watched the dailies. Like, that's not a thing that happened. He's like, you don't understand, James Franco. Stuff like that. And then Greg Sestero, like, Tommy Wiseau will say something, I guess, that's not true. And then Greg Sestero will chime in like, actually, that did happen. Contradict it. It's pretty good.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. That thing about the, Ojai being the building that their apartment is in, that was an accident.
Wow.
Like, they had to pick a shooting location, and it just because there's actually Ojai as a location.
Yeah. It just happened to be Ojai.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, it just worked out.
I didn't mean to knock his lunch down.
It's okay, buddy. You pick it up for me?
Sure.
Thanks.
And then I'm still going through a ton of the 1980s Turtles cartoon, and
Cool.
I'm on the 7th season now. But like from the 4th season on, I guess they went to syndication on CBS from Fox, so they changed the intro, and there's less Shredder developing plans to stop them. And one of the fun parts is that they start to break the fourth wall a lot in the show. And like one of the examples I already told Ryan is like they scale April's apartment like outside with grappling hooks, and as they're going up the wall, Dante's like, "Why are we?"
That's what it says in my car. That's what it is.
Don't worry.
Thank
Don't
you,
worry,
buddy.
Kellen. Brad's just talking. It's all right.
That's fine. It's not. No one cares.
Now they pull those puzzles.
You're good, Brad. I turned that mic off anyway.
Okay. Dante's scaling the wall, and he'll say, like, why don't we just use the elevator inside? And Raphael's like, well, this is more visually interesting for the show. And then they get inside, and they're like trying to look for like any clues on where to go next. And Raphael finds a piece of paper, and it's like, I've got a paper with a phone number and address. I'm going to read it like they do in movies, 777 770th way or something like that. Yeah, like so that's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's all I watched.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Zach?
Not too much this week, but I did want to bring up 2 things from last week that I missed. So I saw Wreck-It Ralph for the first time on Blu-ray
Dope.
from work, and it's great. It's wonderful. So now I've seen all of the newer Disney Renaissance in terms of animation stuff.
Yeah.
Ralph, the Wreck-It Ralph was great. King Candy is a great villain.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect the twist at the end. Because I'm glad, that trailer played so much when I was working in the theaters that, I didn't know if I wanted to go. So I'm glad I didn't, watch anything or even, the new Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer. I kind of went in blank, and I just enjoyed the whole thing. I also, I don't remember his name, but it's, the one resident of the building that he has to wreck every day who makes the bet with him. He's like, let it never be said that I'm a man of my word. The apartment is yours. Enjoy it. Just walks off with spite, hopping down.
Yeah.
I just loved it. And like I said, King Candy, Alan Tudyk does a great Edwin impression.
Yeah.
And one that makes you feel like there's this, I love this moment where he's trying to trick Ralph by convincing him that it's wrong for her to race. Which I was just like, it's fucking genius. Because then when it turns out he's been lying the whole time, it's like they fooled me.
It's a well done film.
Yeah, it's
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I got to rewatch it before the new one.
Sugar Rush.
and Rich Moore directed it, so that's pretty awesome. Some Simpsons alum getting some love in the Disney World. So last week I didn't see the Hurricane Heist. Instead, I saw The Greatest Showman, which was still in theaters. And
You clearly made a mistake because the Hurricane Heist is good.
did I? Because I'm not gonna lie.
It's the first movie on Letterboxd that I ever gave a half a star to.
Oh, really? Wait. How many stars did you give the 50 Shades movies?
I think 1.
Wow.
Because at least there, the dude comes back from a helicopter crash.
Okay, I can see the last one, but this most recent one.
I don't know if I actually did the most recent one. Tell you the truth.
Oh, okay.
You can
I
only
just
do a
forgot
half
to.
a star.
I
That's like the
literally
lowest
pull
one,
it up,
right?
and Henry also gave it a half a star, because it's bad for people. At a certain point, movies lose stars when they're bad for people.
Right.
So anyway, sorry. The Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman, not bad for people.
Okay.
But maybe not smart for people. It was fine. I mean, it's I hadn't been to a PG movie in a while, I guess. And like so everything like skirts around like any innuendo, any violence really. Like there are no consequences really in this film except P.T. Barnum has to learn to love his family and not the riches in the world. Like Hugh's great in it, and Efron's great in it. Zendaya's great in it. There's nothing really wrong with the film except it just is kind of there. Like it doesn't add anything to the proceedings. The addition of new pop music in the 1800s has been done before, so I'm not like it's nothing that I haven't seen before. So it's just kind of there. But there are moments in the film that stand out as great, and then everything else around it is just kind of mediocre. Like the song that got nominated for the Oscar, for example, that's the reason to watch the movie.
Sure.
It's a great number where I can't remember her name, but the woman who plays the bearded lady comes out and she's singing with all the other sideshow performers, like "This Is Me," like "I Won't Be Knocked Down" or whatever, and it's an amazing number. It's like if there were a crowd in my theater, they would have been like cheering.
I love that statement. If anyone had come to see this movie, they would have enjoyed that part.
But it has legs. It's had legs at the box office, but I think that by that point, the crowds have just disappeared from this film.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
I liked the idea of the film as a whole because, like, even though it doesn't tackle P.T. Barnum correctly, it does it in a way
adequately.
It does it adequately. It does it in the same way that you watch a
correct.
50s film about a circus and you're just like, oh, the circus. It's so much fun. And it was fun watching the sideshow performers like have a choreographed number, like to kind of emphasize like what they're doing is unheard of in New York society at the time. So they do rewrite history though with the burning of the building, which actually happened during the draft riots, which was a horrible situation in our country. Anyway, like I said, not real. And then
fake history.
Exactly. I rewatched Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in 10 years. That might be the best old-time radio movie ever by default.
God damn it.
By default. Because the adaptations like Lone Ranger, The Shadow, stuff like that, okay? They're enjoyable enough, but they don't have much quality. Dragnet actually has quality.
Yeah.
Like it does the right thing. It takes that 60s the early 60s hard-edged cop from the conservative value and throws in a hippie played by Tom Hanks, who's awesome.
Yeah.
And he just makes you smile. There's a scene where the chief of police goes like, do you have any evidence of this? Like, and Tom Hanks goes like, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of it, and like a bunch of pills pop out of his pocket from when they were at a drug rave earlier. It's just funny.
I always love movies. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but I always like kind of the goofy comedies.
Yeah, I like Dan Aykroyd enough. I think this is my favorite Dan Aykroyd movie where it's just him at the front of the movie and it's not him surrounded by others. Because like Ghostbusters doesn't really count. Like he's got Bill Murray and Harold Ramis and others to back him up. So this one, it's relying on him and Hanks, and he does Joe Friday really good. Yeah. Like it's a solid impression. They do justice to the radio, TV show, whatever. It's like so all the elements are there.
We do.
It's the highest quality of it by far.
Yeah.
So like we can't say The Shadow or The Lone Ranger. We just can't. It's Dragnet. And they have a rap at the end of it where Tom Hanks raps. Like, that's everything, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, but The Shadow has a perma dagger that flies around the room, and that's dope.
It also has a Taylor Dane song, but, like, I could talk about my personal secrets later.
It has a whole sequence. It has a whole sequence where a giant nuclear bomb rolls down a hallway that then Steven Spielberg ripped off for Minority Report with the eyeball. So Steven Spielberg is stealing from The Shadow, which makes The Shadow a better film.
Dragnet.
I like The Shadow when it was directed by Sam Raimi, called Dark Man.
Oh.
Take that fucking pig The Dragnet has Christopher Plummer playing a priest who's preaching moral values, but is secretly a
Fucking
satanic
boys.
priest.
Oh.
A pagan priest, actually, I should say.
Sure.
That is a car.
Yeah, so and Christopher Plummer's actually pretty funny in it too. It's pretty fun. So yeah, Dragnet, and then last thing was just a bunch of MST3K because that's the only thing I can really settle down to when I get off of work. I saw The Fugitive Alien 1 and 2s back to back, and that was like a buttload of fun. Like the in Fugitive Alien, it's just a Japanese television show about a Star Cruiser gang, and their captain is like a belligerent alcoholic who brings in enemies onto his ship as friends, and so they made an action figure out of him. And like one of the playsets that Joel and the Bots created for him is watch Captain Joe as he goes through an awkward intervention, and it's a Barbie doll, a Ken doll, and a Donatello TMNT action figure telling them how they're ruining, how his alcoholism is ruining their lives. And when they get to the Donatello one, it goes, "Please, Captain Joe, don't cowabungle your life." Made me giggle. So anyway, that's all I watched this week.
I want to point out that I gave 50 Shades. What's the one that came out?
50 Shades Freed.
1 star.
Okay.
And I gave Darker 1.5 because of the helicopter scene.
Oh, okay. So I gave both of them a half a star because they both deserve a half a star because they're bad for people. But it means that I had to give Hurricane Heist a full star because I think it's more watchable than Cloverfield Paradox, but also very broken. So, because Cloverfield Paradox is also at a 1 star for this year. So, but yeah, 50 Shades Freed, half a star. You gotta exercise that half star for some real, or you just need to see some of the real trash I see every year. Like if I see,
it might be. I might give it some break because I like spending time with my wife and stuff. So
Fair.
It's a thing we do.
Yeah.
And they're completely dumb. And where Hurricane Heist, it just gave me a headache. Here's a guy named Breeze.
But Hurricane Heist didn't make me like furious at the film the way that 50 Shades did. I will say, as an example, Brad sent me a trailer that I didn't talk about in news for what's it called? City Shark?
Home Shark or something?
House Shark.
Is it House? Oh my God, it's House Shark. There's literally a shot where a dorsal fin is coming up from a toilet.
Yes.
I mean, they might as well just call the movie Land Shark, which is what it is. Like, they should just make it,
Candygram.
There should be there needs to be a Candygram,
Please, I'm just a dolphin.
I know. Hold on. We're almost done. We got like 1 segment left. And I didn't watch anything, so it's going to go really fast. This week I didn't really watch anything. I watched a whole bunch of Voyager. I saw, for years I've been telling people about the episode that's been decanonized, which is the one where they break Warp 10 and Tom Paris and the captain turn into salamanders, and then they just turn back into not salamanders at the end, because it's a friggin' terrible episode. But apparently that was just like a rumor and circumstance and never actually happened. So I'll set the record straight here. That episode, officially real Star Trek canon. If you break Warp 10, you turn into a salamander. Anyway.
Good to know if I ever join Starfleet.
Yeah. I'm finishing up season 2, and the Borg are getting really, really close. So I'm getting really, really excited. There's some really good shit in the in that second season. There's also Threshold though. So, and then other than that, I started watching Planet Earth 2. Because it's on Netflix, and because Brooks wanted to watch it, and she was like, "This is great," and I was like, "Okay, I like pretty things." I was waiting. I was gonna my 4K Blu-ray player showed up this week, but I haven't ordered the 4K TV yet because I'm waiting until I move. But it's just sitting over there. So I was gonna wait and just buy Planet Earth 2 on 4K so that I could watch that because I was like, "Dude, that will look beautiful."
Just do it.
I probably will, but I'm still watching through it anyway, and it's cool. I've never watched any of the Planet Earth things, so I should probably go back and see the first one, so I can figure out where the Planet Earth came from. but the second
beginning,
the second one where they invent islands and mountains and jungles is pretty cool. I have a feeling that if none of those things are in the first season, That would be pretty disappointing. But so far, islands, mountains, and jungles, pretty dope. There's some badass animals out there. They do lemurs like 4 times, though. They keep going back to Madagascar. I think it's cheap. Or, they're getting money from
Because
Fox.
they're cute.
Yeah. There's a crazy jungle where everything has got spikes on it. I was like, why does that exist? That's silly. That's really when the show jumped the shark for me. I was like, that's not real. That can't be real.
Do you think they're gonna reboot it for the for cinema?
We can only hope so.
Reboot Planet Earth.
we can only hope.
Yeah,
I actually think it was recently called Fake News.
Yeah, I do like going outside too, James. It's awesome. You just look around, look at trees.
Oh, I didn't go outside, dude. This shit's on Netflix. I watched it in bed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I literally fell asleep watching this shit.
I did the thing that was cheaper.
Yeah,
technically.
Hey, man, if you can go to Madagascar for less than $7.99 a month, that's not how much my Netflix subscription costs anymore.
I say, isn't it like $10.99 now?
Yeah, it's
I don't know. I
$10.99.
think people have Netflix, just like whatever. I still have it.
Yeah,
Just
take
takes
my
that.
money.
Yeah.
Don't get into my veins.
Don't tell anybody, but especially because technically Brooks and I are not married because we're not. So right now there's like 3 different people using my one Netflix account. So I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
I should start making those people pay rent though.
Netflix policeman is all the ladies from Orange is the New Black come in and beat you up.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Anything else is not worth noting. So, Ryan.
Yeah, I really didn't watch anything. I watched what Brad watched. I watched Justice League. And again, it's a movie that I think's fun, but it suffers. You can actually tell, I can, when the different directors are working on it by the banter.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it, but you can. And I also I watched. Yeah, it's my dome. He can say tons of words, but for some reason he can't say "fuh." So for a phone, it's "done."
That's funny because we've tried to make him practice "fuh" so many times.
Yeah, I know. Because I always wanted to say "fuck." So I mean, Justice League. I still think it's fun. Like, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. It's just there.
Other than that, it's about the Justice League.
No,
bam! No, I'm just kidding.
I like Batman and Wonder Woman. So yeah, and I mean in 4K it looks great.
I bet. Yeah.
The rooftop scene with Batman at the beginning. I remember seeing it in the theater. I'm like, it's kind of like dark. But on 4K, like you can see the Batman's textures and so it looks pretty cool.
That makes me feel really excited to see Black Panther on 4K
right.
at some point.
So there's some good things. I also watched The Disaster Artist again. I think I mentioned. I need to listen to the commentary because it sounds amazing. The movie's still really good. I really enjoy it.
Have you still not seen The Room?
No.
Yeah.
We've got to rectify that soon.
We'll see.
It'll be so weird to see it
2
now.
weekends at the Esquire.
That's right. If I can get where I don't have to work a Sunday, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And really the only thing, so I'm still doing my Scream Factory thing. So look for Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours to be posted soon. 2 not very good movies. But surprisingly loaded with features for a double feature.
Visiting Hours starts with a V. Like what?
Yeah, so Bad Dreams. So I'm on B's. So Bad Dreams is the first movie listed.
Oh, it's a 2-pack?
So it's a double feature. And I also watched Bad Moon again, which is one of my favorite werewolf movies.
Charlie Band, woo!
It's not Charlie Band.
It is.
Bad Moon?
Bad Moon is his full moon Enterprises.
Why is he arguing with me about this?
I don't know.
Bad Moon was made by Warner Brothers. Look it up. Bad Moon. Anyways, they had the director Eric Red on it, and so he's doing the commentary. So I've seen the movie plenty of times, and I said, I should watch it with a commentary. I've watched a lot of Criterions with commentary, and they have film scholars on there, and you can tell they're reading from notes. Or when I watch Universal Monsters, and they're reading from notes, okay. The director of the film was reading from notes, and he was really bad at it. So he would say, in this scene, I wanted to show that the dog was scary and tough. And this man here is an insurance guy. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the most monotone reading prepared statements I've ever listened to in a commentary. And I listened to a dude read The Bride of Frankenstein from an essay he wrote while he was commenting. And this is maybe the worst commentary I've ever listened to.
Nuts. No, you're right. You're right. By the way, it's
Thank
not
you.
really bad. I'm sorry.
And so, so the movie is interesting, but it's like I don't know. Like, there's no passion when he's reading it, and not that it's bad for information way, because he did really cool, like how they did like practical effects while he was shooting it, and why he shot it a certain way. So that was really cool, but he told it in such a boring way. You're like, dude, come on, liven up a little bit.
And it's from Scream Factory, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they got to see. So I watched this a couple weeks ago, but it was the Psycho remake with their commentary because Shout Factory put it out.
Yeah.
And they had Rob Galuzzo, the guy who did fucking Psycho Legacy, and the editor of the film, and they don't. They were able to get out of it something better than just reciting like, oh, that's what happened that day. They got a conversation out of like the cultural context of this film. That's how I like my commentaries.
He definitely needed someone to ask him the questions because the problem with it being canned is it's so prepared that it doesn't sound natural. So he's talking about Michael Pare, I forget how to pronounce the last name, who's the villain in it, I guess.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yeah, he talks about how he is great for it and how he got the part, but he's reading it, so it sounds really not like he means what he said, even though I'm sure he does. But maybe he just isn't a natural commentator because I don't think he's really done anything else.
I think it's French. Michael Pare.
So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting Mason Gamble's in that movie.
I forgot to say I watched the Transformers movie like 2 weeks ago. And
Transformers the movie?
Transformers the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
cartoon one from the
right.
80s.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is the animation cleanup on that disc is amazing. It looks so good. And some of the story is actually like the art and the characters like really fascinating. I did kind of like lose interest as it gets further and further towards the end. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but some big character dies early on. Actually, 2, I guess.
Autobots.
Yeah.
No, that's like part of the driving force of the story.
Yeah. I mean, it happens like it's one of the first things that like kickstarts the movie.
I remember when they
it's a
like
bummer.
found him dead. I was like creepy when I was young. Like, I'm sure I haven't seen it in years, but I remember like cobwebs all over him. And
Well, the weird part is that like when he dies, like the color just runs out of him.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why that would be but it's to show,
Yeah.
Well, that's Orson
Does-
Welles' last movie.
Does the Matrix of Leadership show up in that movie?
I remember there was some like Allspark they were fighting over, and Hot Rod was trying to like keep it away from Megatron, who gets transformed by Unicron into something else.
Does
It's
anybody-
Super Megatron.
Does
Yeah,
anybody
something
have
like
to go
that.
to Transformer Heaven to get Optimus back?
Optimus doesn't come back,
Oh no!
Not all Transformers go to heaven.
which I thought would happen.
Yeah, no,
Because
he
Megatron
does die
turns into
pretty early.
something
I think
else.
it's the first battle, isn't it?
Yeah, he and Megatron fight in, like in the first scene or whatever, and gets taken out by like a gun blast. But then Megatron gets his too, and then his buddies like throw him into space because they're like, they're the point of the movie was to introduce a new line of toys because they were like going to phase out the first generation Transformers, and then so all the like the new Transformers in the movie are like getting rid of the.
But then you realize the coolest one is the dude who turns into like a semi truck.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Whoops, my mistake.
So yeah, that's all I watched.
Yeah. Cool. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Tomb Raider. Brad, should people spelunk into the tomb?
I don't know. It's just a movie that's kind of there. Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft is interesting. I just wish she had more. Like the whole story just amounts to like she's sad that she doesn't have her dad, and then she goes to this island to try and find him, and then there's not enough puzzle solving. The end gets like Cooley gets a little bit like Last Crusade, pulls a couple ideas out of that, but yeah, it's just kind of there. Like I didn't find it very interesting.
Zach?
Sure, it's fun. I wasn't its biggest fan, but like
Yeah, you slept through a lot of it.
Yeah, I know, but like the stuff that I saw was great. I mean, like I was nodding off toward the end, but then I got up when they revealed the twist at the end. But
yeah, we saw it at the drive-in, and like all the stuff in the tomb was really dark. So a lot of times I was like
couldn't
incoherent
see
of like
much.
what's.
Yeah,
I think action's happening
Yeah.
right now.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a film thing. I think that's because mine didn't
Yeah.
look like that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX.
yeah. No, that's more of a just the way we were seeing it.
yeah. It may be a thing of because we're also far away too. So if we were close up, we might have been more engaged. I always worry about that.
Yeah.
I think your seat placement in a theater has a lot to do with how you enjoy a movie.
I agree too.
I mean, I saw a majority of it, so like I would say like it's engaging enough. I mean, I was not like I'm not going to rush out to see it again, but I like Alicia Vikander a lot, and I want to see her succeed. So I'd say, yeah, go see this at least for her. she's great in it. The opening's awesome, and I love it. So, yeah,
James.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you are a fan of these games or you are just interested in sort of adventure-y films, like, these things don't come around very often, so, like, I'm going to take what I can get. If it's between this and another National Treasure movie, this is great. I would sort of say that, like, maybe a way to describe it is this movie definitely doesn't break the video game curse. Like it's got a lot of problems and things that I find myself forgiving it for, simply because I think the character is cool, a lot of the action's cool, the idea and this kind of story is the kind of stuff that I want. But it's definitely a movie that when it's over, I'm more excited for the sequel and the potential for how good a sequel could be than I am for how good the movie itself was. But I definitely think, like, yeah, you should check it out. I think it's really fun. I think she's great. I think that there's some choices they made in the story that were unexpected that I really enjoyed. And then there's some other things I got to talk about later that some things I was mad about, some things that I thought were not as good. But yeah, I think people should check it out.
Yeah, picking up back off James, I actually really like the movie because every once in a while I need a movie where it's just fun.
Yeah.
And I think this movie was lots of fun. And being a fan of the game, I really liked it. I did have two kind of problems with it that I'll talk about in the spoilers. I forgave it because I do think it had the Last Crusade moments to it. And I don't know if it needed more puzzles. I think to establish who she is, at least she raided a tomb.
I don't know if it needed more puzzles. I was thinking it needed more like compelling puzzles.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, I get that.
Like the color one was like, oh, okay, that's
the only real puzzle. The other puzzle you don't actually see the pieces of, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, she raided a tomb, which is more. I don't think they do in the Angelina Jolie ones. I don't remember.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure she just goes on like.
I would say that that tomb where the giant swinging pendulum thingy is. I would say that's
guess.
a tomb.
I have to watch them again. I literally have them. I think I bought them on Blu-ray when they first came out, and they're still in the wrapper.
I recently rewatched the first one. It does not hold up very well, and that was the good one.
I couldn't even tell you what was in the second one. I know they go to Africa.
She rides a motorcycle on the Wall of China. That's the second one.
Gotcha. So yeah, no, I think you should see it. I had lots of fun. If you're a fan of the games, at least this one makes Laura really interesting and tough.
Yeah, I would say this is a good video game adaptation. But it is not the Logan of video game adaptation, which is maybe what I wanted.
Here's a trailer for Tomb Raider.
I thought I saw Dad again. I think I'm going mad.
Laura, your father's gone. At some point, we have to face up to who we are, who we're meant to be.
I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It'll be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure. What are you doing here, Laura? 7 years I've been on this island. Your father, he put me here. Now I see the likeness, intelligence, the recklessness.
What do you know about my father?
Laura, there was more to my life than boardrooms and business deals. There's an organization called Trinity. It's looking to start a global genocide.
Your dad sure you had a bigger holiday.
He had a knack for the unexpected.
You must stop them, Laura. Promise me.
Really?
Ladies first.
Open the tube!
finger that's pulling this trigger.
You messed with the wrong family.
This movie has Derek Jacobi in it, and I think that's incredible.
For, like, how many seconds?
No, I know.
They wasted him.
80 years old. Like, what do you want him to do?
He's just playing a lawyer in a room. He was on set for a day.
He's
and I'm like,
just trying to keep his body together.
Yeah, I'm like Shakespeare scholar Derek Jacobi in the Tomb Raider movie.
What's this movie called? Womb Raiders?
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, I mean, Tomb Raider borrows heavily from the last two games that rebooted it,
especially that first one.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. Now they radically changed that opening act, in a way that I actually thought was really cool.
I think so too.
At first I was like, this is weird, so you had told me going in, you were like, there's one choice they make that I really don't like, and so it kind of drove me crazy because in the whole movie I'm going like, is it that? Because I like that. Is it that? Because I actually like that. But that was one where
mine was at the end.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah, I've talked to you about it.
Yeah. So they redo that whole beginning where now I didn't even know if she knew who she was. Like I thought was she abandoned? And then as it started to come together, oh, she just chooses she will never sign the paper saying he's dead, so she can't inherit any of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of a cool premise, and of course then telegraphs that oh well, her dad better be alive then, because otherwise there's no closure there.
I know. I kind of like. So my biggest problem with the film, since we're kind of here, is not that her dad's alive per se, but I don't like that she. I don't like sometimes when they present really strong female characters and something has to happen for them by someone else for them to become strong.
Yeah.
So I don't like that the only reason I didn't like that her dad was still alive is because I wanted her to figure it out by herself.
So here's where I agree with you. I don't like that she doesn't believe her dad, because that doesn't seem in character. Because I'm like, dude, it's your dad. And you read all his research before you came. So whatever convinced him, if he believes and he's been on this island for all this time, you're allowed to have daddy issues and be pissed at him. But at the same time, just you should believe him. That part I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I will say, in contrast to your argument, is I think that they do things like I almost cried when she killed the dude, because that first kill, much like in the video game, they do really well, and they make you actually, and maybe it's just me because I'm bringing baggage to the movie, but when that scene happens, I know oh, you're actually making this character who's not supposed to be necessarily a badass realize she has to be a badass and kill people to survive, and that scene is pretty rough. You can tell she feels it. That's a thing she does completely on her own, not spurred on because of her dad.
I agree.
But then it actually gets cut short by her dad showing up, and I'm like, oh, fuck,
Yeah,
I would almost want it the other way, where he shows up like Peter Pan in Hook or something like that, and it's like, oh no, you just killed that guy. Here, let me give you all the answers. I've been here being a badass all this time, and I couldn't get away because I had to keep them distracted. I didn't want him to be John Hurt from Indiana Jones 4. I wanted him to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Because then he ends up being this weird MacGuffin, getting into some of the things I don't like. Okay, so she does this scene, which should have been longer, where she sneaks into the camp, and she should have just arrowed more dudes in the face. What this movie is missing is her sniping fools with arrows more. It happens once, and I wanted 4 times.
I thought it was weird when she's talking to her dad, and all of a sudden she's suddenly super strong and just grabs a bow and just heads right towards the camp.
Oh, see, that's what I wanted. Yeah, but yes,
it just seems like a 180 turn in that scene.
Yeah, because there's scenes like that where she has to go, the movie needs to move, and they don't know how to do it. So, for example, her crazy John Hurt dad wanders into the camp while she's trying to evacuate all the people, and then just starts playing with the tools or with the puzzle, even though he doesn't want them to open it. Why are you there? What is your motivation other than to move the plot forward and get caught? There's moments like that where I'm like, fucking A, if you had made him cool, and it should have been, he's cool, she's glad to have him, but she's pissed at him and has to deal with that, and she's vindicated because she's right in that he's alive.
Yeah.
And then
I thought he was going to be this hallucination that's I
think the hallucination would have been cool.
That's propelling her to move forward, because she's pretending he's there to help her, be a badass. But it's like,
I would argue not a hallucination, but maybe like if she had been reading from the journal. Like,
No,
don't make it a red herring for the audience.
Yeah, I just, and then my other moment, because then I'll talk about stuff I really loved about it, is
because we've been hating on it mostly.
At the end, she's fighting Walton Goggins, who's
amazing,
and he has her in that hold, and he's about to beat her, and the only thing that stops him from killing her is the explosion her dad sets off.
Yeah.
And I just hate that. I'm like, why can't you just? Obviously, she can kick his ass,
especially because they've kind of bungle it, because she's already done the thing where he gets her in the headlock just like she is at the beginning of the movie, and then she gets out of it and beats the shit out of him for a little while, and then he gets the jump on her again. So it's like, wait, why did you do that? When instead it should have been the other way. Like, have her be winning, and then the bomb goes off, and she gets knocked over again. Because it's Tomb Raider, and the modern version of Tomb Raider is let's watch Lara get beat the shit out of a lot. Like, it would have been better had,
Because that's the thing is because again, you're presenting the strong female character, and the only way she gets an upper hand is something else had to happen for her to do it.
Yeah,
I'd much rather have her find a way to get out, because once she got out and she stuffed that finger down his throat, and then she kicked the shit out of him, like, it was awesome. And then even when she's running away, it reminds me of the game where the temple's falling around her and she's trying to get. So
there were almost two on the nose moments of like like that where you're like, okay, this is the game. There's when she's on the boat and the side of the boat gets hit, and there's a thing for her to basically jungle gym across, and I'm like, oh man, like it would have been fine had there not been a pause. There was a pause where she goes, what do I do here? Oh, there's jungle gym bars. Let me climb across this like a jungle. And I'm like, okay, all right, just have her jump and do it.
But I loved. I mean, I thought it was shot cool. I love that it kind of turned into a zombie movie from Uncharted 1.
I was just gonna say my actual big gripe with this film is that they get to the end, and spoilers for Uncharted 1, but they just stole the whole ending of Uncharted 1, where it's like, oh, the whole MacGuffin, the whole movie, turns out is full of disease and turns you into zombies.
But I thought it was really cool handled, where she's figuring it out.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, everything's rooted in reality, and she's just. To me, so those are the moments I like, because I feel that's Tomb Raider.
Right.
It's
agreed.
Supernatural, but grounded in reality, and she has to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because she's smarter than everybody else. And
Yeah.
I love that she used her smarts. She solved the puzzles. And Alicia Vikander is amazing anyways, and she's great in the movie.
There's the bike scene at the beginning.
There's a bike scene, which is
cool.
fun.
It's all better than all of Premium Rush.
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
I'm so glad this isn't the whole film.
I was going to say, like, even though I nodded off at points, like, when I'm watching her, because that opening for me is so strong, I want to follow her around.
Yeah.
And I'm even in the boat. I'd watch a sequel. Like, I want to see adventures with her.
Yeah.
I think she's an awesome character. And, like, I mean, she doesn't have the best independent push in terms of what you were talking about with the...
That's just a small gripe.
Yeah,
but, that's my biggest gripe with it, is I'm a big believer is she should be driving the story.
Mm-hmm.
She should be driving the story.
But when you get to Goggins, and then it kind of like...
Yeah, because even that part, I mean, if you like the 2013 game, I mean, it's almost just like that game, where it's Trinity and they're there, and they bind her by her hands, and she has to escape through the plane.
Oh, that whole sequence from when she falls through the river to when she gets impaled by the spike, I was like, because I literally started that game up again when I got home. I was like,
I know,
holy
I started playing
shit,
Rise again.
This is just, I mean, that is the game, that whole section.
Mm-hmm. So it's fun.
It was cool.
And it's, it's like I said, it's cool to have a movie that's just fun, especially coming off Hurricane Heist. It just frustrated the hell out of me.
I would almost say that sequence makes it worth seeing the movie, because you could tell my whole audience was like on edge.
Yeah.
And you could hear like people reacting and like being really nervous. Like everybody, I had Brooks on one side and then a stranger on the other side, and both of them, I could just tell were like, when that scene finally ended, you could just kind of feel everybody just go like, oh, okay, all right, we're okay now. Even though she's going to be okay, I will say that it should have been a full piece of rebar. Like, just steal that, because when she pulls the thing out, I'm like, it's like 3 inches long. And in the game, she's impaled on a piece of rebar, and you're like, oh, it's really rough. Like I wanted to, not that I really want her to be like terribly hurt, but like she almost feels a little wimpy when she pulls this little thing out, and you're like, hey, and I'm sure if I got stabbed with 3 inches of metal, I would whine and complain way more than she does. But it's a movie and it's imagination. I want a big old stick. Yeah. I'm just saying, I wanted her to be so badass that a whole piece of rebar through her side. She's like, I don't give a shit. She pulls that shit out.
Like the Terminator.
Walking around. That's right. That's actually kind of exactly what it is in the game. And then I do that whole ending sequence where they're finally like setting up like, oh, like here's who the villain would be in the next movie, and here's what it would look like, and here's all these revelations, and how much now she has guns because she doesn't have a gun, does not fire a gun through the whole movie.
I kind of like the bow and arrow though, because you know,
I agree.
As a fanboy, when she grabbed the bow and arrow and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of it," I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, because
it's on.
I play those games bow and arrow only,
Yeah.
walking around silently hunting everyone, because that's the
and
part
things.
that's cool.
I love tracking bears.
Oh yeah, I was kind of expecting after she finally gets out of the plane sequence, I was kind of expecting like a wolf to come along and then she's got to wrestle it or run away up a tree, but then she just killed that dude. Yeah. She can fight a bear or a T-Rex. Ooh, can she fight a T-Rex in the next one?
She's in Jurassic World.
Yes, that sounds like a better movie.
By the way, Goggins, man, Goggins is fun.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's always good.
Damn good villain. Like I mean, I know he's good in other stuff, but like, you know,
Justified, best show on television for 7 years.
What's that you rapping about, boy?
Just saying.
No, I liked him. Like
Miola, fantastic.
Like the thing that I took away from it coming out, because I know nothing about Tomb Raider. I'm ignorant.
Boo.
As all heck. But like, so
she has boobs and she shoots guns at things.
Are they triangular?
They are triangular. Very well done.
So like, walking out of it, like, I mean, I liked her as a strong character, and like Goggins was an awesome villain, and like what was good about it was like I mean, getting into the world, I'm like, oh, he's a huge piece of shit, but there's more huge pieces of shit out there. Ooh, how bad can this get?
You know, like the fanboy in me when she got the axe, I'm like, oh yeah, I bet she's gonna run and jump and have to stick it into a wall and slide.
That was cool.
Yeah, so I love that stuff.
And yeah, I do like when she sticks it down his throat.
Yeah,
just kicks him down there. Although he fell weird, like, and it's hard. And granted, it was hard for us to see. It felt like to me like he fell weird, but maybe it's because we had crushed blacks on our screen or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
He fell in bones.
He fell in. He like drops on some bones and stuff. So
I need to watch this again.
That was one of the things where I was like, there was a faster way. I knew she was eventually going to get to the part where she just kicks the ladder off. So I just wanted to do that earlier. Like when she got to that part, when she like runs past him and jumps onto that thing, I thought right then she was just going to like turn the ladder over and you know, dump him there.
But no, she had to kick his ass first.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, and I like Nick Frost in the pawn shop.
Yeah, Nick Frost is pretty great.
Yes. Yeah.
I wasn't flirting.
A little bit.
She tries to like attack him, like, "Oh, that's what the glass is for, just for these moments."
He's always fun.
Yeah.
I like how she got him back though, like by spilling the coffee through the little slit in the window.
Colnado. What? Gonna Colnado. Next week we're seeing. I don't know. What are we seeing next week?
I think it's Pacific Rim Uprising.
Is Pacific Rim, I think, unless
Nice.
we're seeing Isle of Dogs.
Oh. Wait, I think Isle of Dogs is in April, isn't it?
No, Isle of Dogs is next weekend. Yeah.
Oh.
The Alamo.
Shit, son.
So we'll probably at least see Pacific Rim, and then maybe we'll see Isle of Dogs, or
Should
maybe
be
some
fun.
of us will see Isle of Dogs.
Or maybe we postpone Isle of Dogs for a down week because
We could. So the week after that is Ready Player One,
right,
and then
And then it's Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Ooh.
And then
When are we
We're
going to
still-
watch The Devil's Honey? Sorry, this
Then it's
popped up on my
Friday
my
the
Amazon.
13th is I Kill Giants.
Yes.
Are you guys
Then
doing that
April-
screening?
Huh? No, I'm
not
out
at
of
that
town.
screening, but I will go see it.
Yeah.
I think you and I are the only.
Is
ones
it a
who
wide
can do
release?
this.
I don't think it's a
No,
wide release.
I mean we can get it on VOD if we have to.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Is that what it is?
VOD, yeah, and theaters.
I will buy a ticket to that movie every day for a week.
Yep.
Oh man.
Love me some Joe Kelly.
Can we go shopping for the wedding? No, I Kill Giants.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Not even excited, just very calmly. I Kill Giants.
No, I'm lamer than that. I'm seeing a bluegrass supergroup that night. The tickets were way more expensive.
So what is the definition of a bluegrass supergroup?
I have no idea, but it sounds fun.
one of the main people from a band called Nickel Creek, which was a really big band, and two other women who sing independently, one of whom has already had a really successful band, one of whom won a Grammy or 2 for her last record. All made a band, and they've had a band for a while now.
Called Supergrass.
Called I'm With Her. Because they're all ladies.
Thought they supported Hillary Clinton.
Nope, they were around before Hillary Clinton. They're all 90 years old. No, I'm kidding. I don't think it was that, but there's a week where our choices are Overboard or Truth or Dare or The Writer. Yeah, I'm not seeing Overboard because fuck that shit. So, but that is the week of April 13th. Oh, that's when. Right. Yeah. Never mind. Okay.
It doesn't have to be the movie of the week, but Blumhouse has me interested with that trailer. I'm like, what could?
Oh, for Truth or Dare, not for Overboard.
Yeah, no, not
you
for
son
Overboard.
of a bitch.
Blumhouse would be awesome.
Yeah.
Overboard.
Actually, if you did a really like rough remake of Overboard, where it's a horror film where a guy abducts a woman and then basically just tortures her, forces her to clean his apartment and have sex with him, that would be a really good horror film.
I'm just saying, Jason Blum has done Stranger Things, and they've won Oscars for them, dude.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
This could happen.
Yeah. So the only bet down week until the end of April is actually that week we're seeing I Kill Giants. Because then, I mean, we're all seeing Rampage, right?
I'll see Rampage.
Okay. Right. I mean, Super Troopers 2 is that week as well, but I think we're seeing Rampage.
I may see Super Troopers 2 though too.
Oh, I'll see it.
Jewett, Andy Jewett. Andy Jewett from Sex Pot Comedy worked on it in some capacity. So.
And then April 27th, we're all going to see Traffic.
Yeah.
Are we? I think next week is your 100th episode. I'm trying to.
Well,
get the.
Zach, it's about time for you to miss an episode, Zach.
Yep.
Do we have to celebrate shitty holidays?
Till next week.
One by one.
Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.